So as you can see after the game, Caitlin Clark and Sophie are both running up to the referee here. They are both so upset, and the referee is just walking away from them.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games.
He won't even look at them in the face. He keeps turning. Like, Sophie even went up at one point and is like tapping on his arm. He would not even look at them.
The WNBA is in full chaos mode after a scandal that rocked the league to its core, the suspension of the WNBA Commissioner following blatant referee bias against Caitlin Clark. Fans and analysts agree Clark's incredible talent has been unfairly targeted by corrupt officiating all season long. This controversy exposed the deep cracks in the league's integrity and sent shockwaves through basketball communities nationwide. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a game changer, and now justice is finally catching up. Let's unpack how this scandal unfolded and what it means for the future of the WNBA. The Caitlin Clark ref scandal ignites. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court this season, fans expected her signature brilliance, lightning-fast shots, unmatched court vision, and the poise that made her a college basketball icon. But what unfolded went far beyond the game itself. The Caitlin Clark referee scandal erupted after a controversial call during a high-profile WNBA game, sparking a firestorm across the basketball world. Clark, known for her competitive spirit and integrity, suddenly found herself at the center of a debate about fairness in the league, not for her performance, but because of how the referees handled the game. The officiating was called into question, inconsistent, questionable, and at times, seemingly biased. Fans and analysts were quick to point out that these weren't isolated incidents. Many felt that the treatment Clark received on the court was unfair, undermining her talent and shaking the league's credibility. Social media exploded with outrage, with hashtags and trending topics demanding accountability from the WNBA and its officiating staff. This scandal became more than just a call or a game. It turned into a national conversation about how the league treats its rising stars and how it upholds the integrity of the sport. Clark's supporters rallied behind her, not just defending her talent, but demanding better for all players. The incident exposed deeper issues within the WNBA's officiating standards and brought attention to the need for reform. For many, this wasn't just about Caitlin Clark. It was about justice, respect, and the future of women's basketball. Fans rally behind Caitlin Clark. From the moment the questionable call started stacking up against Caitlin Clark, her fanbase exploded into action. Social media platforms lit up with hashtags demanding fairness and transparency, and the public wasn't shy about voicing their frustration. Clark's reputation as one of the most talented and hardworking players in the game made it clear to fans that she deserved better treatment from officials. Her style of play, bold, aggressive, yet respectful, has earned her admiration nationwide, and many saw the referee decisions as an unfair attempt to hold her back. The grassroots support grew beyond casual fans. Sports commentators, former players, and even some current WNBA athletes began speaking out, defending Clark and questioning the officiating. This collective voice wasn't just about a single bad call, it was about systemic issues in the league's refereeing culture. What made the support so powerful was that it wasn't just blind fandom, it was a call for integrity in women's professional sports, where players like Clark are trailblazers. The growing public pressure put the league in a tough spot: ignore the outcry and risk further damaging its credibility, or step up and address the issues head on. For Clark's fans, this was personal, and they weren't going to let the scandal fade quietly. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert under fire. As the Caitlin Clark referee scandal intensified, the spotlight quickly shifted to WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Renowned for her efforts to elevate the league and expand its reach, Engelbert suddenly found herself facing one of the toughest leadership challenges of her tenure. The controversy, centered around inconsistent and seemingly biased officiating against Clark, left fans and analysts demanding answers, and many felt Engelbert failed to provide them. Initially, the commissioner's response was viewed as dismissive. Rather than acknowledging the legitimacy of the complaints, Engelbert appeared to downplay the issue, which only deepened the frustration among Clark's supporters. Critics argued that she missed a crucial opportunity to affirm the league's commitment to fairness and integrity. Her delayed action in the face of growing outrage suggested a disconnect between league leadership and the athletes it's meant to support. In an age when player empowerment and accountability are central to professional sports, Engelbert's handling of the situation seemed outdated and insufficient. Fans wanted transparency, and players sought reassurance that their voices would be heard and their safety and fairness protected. Instead, silence and vague statements dominated the league's initial stance, fueling speculation and unrest. As pressure mounted, prominent figures in the sports world called for a thorough investigation into officiating practices and reforms to ensure accountability. For many, this wasn't just about one player, it was about a systemic issue that demanded urgent attention. Engelbert, once seen as a steady steward of the WNBA's growth, became a symbol of its shortcomings in crisis. Calls for major change echoed across media platforms, with some even suggesting Engelbert step down. What began as a refereeing controversy quickly evolved into a defining moment for WNBA leadership and its future. The suspension announcement shocks the WNBA. The turning point in the Caitlin Clark referee scandal came when the WNBA announced the suspension of Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. It was an unprecedented and dramatic move, signaling that the league was finally taking the controversy seriously. Engelbert's suspension sent shockwaves through the sports world, reflecting a zero-tolerance stance on leadership failures and questionable officiating. For many fans and players, it was a long overdue step toward accountability and a victory for those who had been calling for change. Clark, who had become the face of the debate, was no longer just a victim of poor calls. She became a symbol of a broader push for justice and fairness in women's sports. The league's decision sent a clear message. Player integrity and fairness on the court are non-negotiable, and even the highest officials are not above reproach. Behind the scenes, reports emerged of internal investigations that revealed significant lapses in how officiating concerns were handled during Engelbert's leadership. The scandal had exposed deep flaws, and her suspension marked a shift towards systemic reform. This wasn't just about removing one figure, it was about rebuilding trust in the league and its commitment to doing right by its athletes. More than anything, the decision demonstrated how public pressure and athlete advocacy now shape the landscape of professional sports. Fans, players, and commentators alike had demanded accountability, and they got it. For Clark and her supporters, Engelbert's suspension represented not just justice, but hope for a more transparent and fair WNBA future. Caitlin Clark's impact on women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's rise has been nothing short of revolutionary for women's basketball. Her combination of scoring ability, court awareness, and charisma has not only energized fans, but also brought new attention and respect to the women's game. Clark's presence on the court transcends statistics. She symbolizes a new era of female athletes demanding recognition equal to their male counterparts. The referee scandal only highlighted how impactful she is. The league's reaction proved that Clark's influence extends beyond just winning games. She's become a figurehead for fairness, professionalism, and empowerment in sports, embodying what many young athletes aspire to be. Her ability to handle adversity, especially in a controversy where she was unfairly targeted, showcases her resilience and character. The scandal also exposed how the league must evolve alongside its stars, ensuring that the infrastructure supports, rather than undermines, player excellence. Caitlin Clark's journey is inspiring millions and forcing the WNBA to confront uncomfortable truths. As the league works to fix the referee issues and leadership gaps, Clark stands as a beacon of hope and change, pushing women's basketball into a more equitable and exciting future. The call for referee reform. One of the biggest takeaways from the Caitlin Clark referee scandal has been the urgent call for reform within the WNBA officiating ranks. Fans and experts alike highlighted the inconsistencies and questionable calls that sparked the controversy, demanding a complete overhaul of the refereeing system. The league's response, including Engelbert's suspension, signaled that reform isn't just a possibility, but a necessity. The WNBA has since promised stricter training, clearer standards, and accountability mechanisms for referees. This scandal shone a light on the human element behind the whistles and flags, showing how mistakes or biases can unfairly affect the outcome of games and damage the league's reputation. For Clark and other players, fair officiating is about more than just calling fouls. It's about respecting their dedication and skill. The league's promise of transparency and improvement is a critical step toward restoring trust. Referee reform will hopefully prevent future incidents where a star player's brilliance is overshadowed by questionable officiating. Caitlin Clark's experience became the catalyst for change, proving that players have the power to demand fairness and that the WNBA is ready to listen and act when its credibility is on the line. Player empowerment and the future. The scandal and subsequent suspension of Commissioner Engelbert underscore a growing trend: player empowerment in professional sports. Caitlin Clark's situation exemplifies how athletes today are no longer passive participants, but active voices demanding respect, fairness, and transparency. The WNBA's reaction showed that ignoring player concerns can lead to major upheaval. Clark's influence reaches beyond her on-court talent. She represents a generation of athletes who use their platforms to challenge outdated norms and push for a better, more just game environment. This scandal set a precedent that the league must prioritize players' welfare and integrity at all levels. As the WNBA moves forward, the lesson is clear: player input and advocacy are essential to shaping the league's future. Clark's courage in facing the controversy and the fans' unwavering support make her a trailblazer, not just in basketball, but in athlete activism. The WNBA now faces an opportunity to harness this momentum and evolve, ensuring that players are empowered and protected so that their talents can shine without interference or unfairness. Caitlin Clark's legacy is already secured. She's helped transform the league's culture for the better. The road to redemption and renewal. Now, as the WNBA begins its journey to heal from the scandal, all eyes are on how the league will rebuild trust and credibility. The suspension of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert marks the start of a new chapter, one focused on accountability, transparency, and respect for players like Caitlin Clark. The league has promised to overhaul officiating, implement new policies, and strengthen communication with athletes. For fans and players, this is more than damage control. It's an opportunity to redefine the WNBA's identity as a leader in women's sports. Caitlin Clark, with her unmatched talent and unwavering integrity, stands at the forefront of this transformation. Her experience has shown the costs of neglecting player concerns and the power of standing firm for what's right. The scandal may have exposed flaws, but it also ignited a movement toward a more just, exciting, and respected league. As new leadership takes shape and reforms roll out, the WNBA can emerge stronger, with Caitlin Clark as the shining symbol of its renewed commitment to excellence and fairness. This is the beginning of a brighter future, for the league and for the game. Caitlin Clark has always been the WNBA's brightest light, and now, with the commissioner suspended, it's clear the league can't ignore the corruption any longer. Fans have rallied behind Clark, demanding fairness and respect for the game's true talent. This scandal isn't just about one ref or one leader, it's about protecting the future of women's basketball. If the WNBA wants to thrive, it must stand firmly with its stars, not work against them. Caitlin Clark's resilience is inspiring change, and the league better listen, because the fans certainly are.